Aloha, I'm Chris Berman, and coming up on ESPN, people's thoughts in mid-October naturally turn to postseason baseball and the World Series. But as Week 7 of the NFL comes your way, we've got our own version of a fall classic lined up for you here. Chicago, New York, now! Classic.
Still fans making their way through the turnstiles. They'll be just in time to catch the start of this game. Hi, and welcome to Giant Stadium. I'm Dan Stevens. And with me in the booth, as always, my cohort and friend, Peter O'Keefe. Peter, I was looking at the team rosters, and both teams have explosive return men on their squad.
Well, that's true, Dan, and if they can produce as they're capable of, this could be a high-scoring game. Kevin Falk, he's a very capable return man. You know, they say playing hard is the best way to avoid injury, and this guy is Exhibit A. You know, he plays every game with all-out effort. On the other side of the ball, we've got another top performer. Delvin Joyce is a superb player. He possesses a great blend of skills and abilities, and that well-roundedness is what makes him such an effective player.
Well, all right, Peter, we'll keep our eye on them as the game progresses, but first, the coin toss. We're set. Graham boots the opening kickoff. Paul catches it back at the 3. Stopped at the 26.
Kevin Falk was able to find some...
Interceptor. One man to beat. Brought down at the 26. Johnston uncorks this to the left sideline, and the catch is made well past the markers for a first down. Barber carries it off right tackle and picks up a couple. Johnston lobs this to the end zone, and they can't connect. Lasher makes a play on this and forces the incompletion.
Down either way, and in my opinion, too, a bad call.
Graham from 26 yards out, and they take the lead. In motion. Brewer fires this one over the middle, and it is not reeled in. Incomplete.
That's a good call.
That'll bring up second down. Second down, 2 wideouts on the field. Rumeniora sacks him way back at the 15. Brewer throws a bullet to the flat, and he connects at the 17. Stop. Maynard takes the snap and pummels this one deep. Joyce takes it at the 33. Tackled at the 43.
Delvin Joyce return.
Johnston throws a heater, and it's intercepted. Potential for some yards, Peter, but the defense was on top of it and shut it down.
Good denial there.
Second down coming up. Brewer rifles it out. Robbins sacks him way back at the 44. Brewer zings it to the right side, and the reception's made at the 36. And they do it, Peter.
Well, maybe. We'll find out soon.
Booker grabs the fastball over the middle, and they get the first on.
Martin.
Buckhalter takes the handoff and heads out right. Tackled at the 19. No dice, and it falls incomplete. Brewer rifles this one hard over the middle, and it's tipped. Incomplete. It's a good call by the defensive coordinator.
Oh, it sure was. Perfect D for that situation.
And it will bring up fourth down. Just makes it in. Clemens gets the sack at the 16. Johnston throws a heater right sideline, and it's caught for a gain of 10 on the...
You know, Dan, my last convertible was a 72 Nova.
You know, Peter, it's no wonder you were a lineman. Stewart makes a play on this and forces the incompletion. Buckhalter picks up about 2, and that will bring up second down. Bring up a 3rd and long. Peterson makes a play on this and forces the incompletion. It'll be Toomer catches it over the middle and chased down at the 48. Toomer makes the catch on the right sideline and is well. Barber gets the handoff and heads left. One man to beat. The 10, 5. He's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Giants.
Look at this run, Dan. Everything worked out to perfection. Look at the fluidity of the running style. There's no wasted motion there. What a play.
Peter, that will put a touchdown in his stat column.
And that's always...
Buckhalter carries this one off to the right and picks up a couple. Brewer zips it to the left sideline and it's tipped. Incomplete. Booker reels in the football and they get the first.
The D to stop it.
Buckhalter takes it for his 5th carry and runs into traffic. Second down. Second down, 3 wideouts in the game. Booker hauls it. The Bears take their first timeout. Brewer dumps it out left, and it's caught at the 46. The Bears. Booker makes the catch out to the left, and Brewer throws a bullet, and the ball's caught at the 29. Brewer rifles it out left side, and he connects at the 9. Williams hammers the receiver, and Brewer zings it to the right side, and the catch is made at the 12. Terrell grabs the bullet, touchdown, and
David Terrell had 3 guys covering him, but look what happens. Incredible catch.
As the clubs head to the locker room, all tied. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN Halftime Report. Boomer?
All right, Dan, interesting game at the half. We'll get back to you guys in a bit. First, we welcome everybody to our ESPN Halftime Report. I'm Chris Berman. Now we'll look at our halftime comparison, and as you can see, total yards definitely tell the story thus far. The Bears should be way ahead on the scoreboard, but somehow they've let their opponent hang with them. Let's see if they can change things in the second half. Let's get started in this one early in the first quarter. Terry Cousin is reading the quarterback's eyes all the way as he's able to get his hands on this one and pick it off. Giants still in the first quarter, ball at the 27. Johnston would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. That set up a 27-yard field goal. Giants midway through the first, Giants leading by 3. Ford was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. The Bears have it off an interception. Paul Edinger is called upon to attempt the field goal. This one, good. A 37-yard field goal. Game tied 3-all. Tiki Barber would get the carry here. Good blocking up front. It helped us bring him. A 37-yard touchdown for the Giants. The Bears late into the second quarter. The Bears already inside field goal range. Brewer connected with his man on this one. A 10-yard touchdown for the Bears. And that's where we'll leave this one. Giants are keeping it evened up. We're tied 10-all. And as far as my halftime hero, well, there's really no contest. David Terrell has played outstanding. And now let's...
Barber dodges this one way out right and gets the first and more. Eventually runs out of bounds at the 48. It will be first down. Tackled at the 44. Malone sacks him back at the 40.
Malone got through with ease.
Gabe catches the hard throw and is well past the markers for a first. Buckhalter will get the carry on first down and heads upfield. Dragged down. Buckhalter carries it for a third time in a row and gets tackled short of the markers. Fourth down. Edinger boots it from 50 yards out, and they take the lead.
All in
At their own 20-yard line. Hilliard catches it left sideline, and he's got... Hunts him down back at the 36.
Lance on set.
Second and long ahead. Toomer brings down the lob left side and is well past the markers for a first. Toomer catches the bullet out left and is well past the markers for a first down. Those connections a lot today.
Yeah, it's a nice range. Gets you some good yards, but it's not so far out that you're not in total control of the situation.
Jefferson, and that'll do it for the third quarter. The Bears with a small lead, 13-10. Johnston unloads this to the right sideline, and it's intercepted. Brought down at the 18. Brewer rifles it out left side, and the ball is caught for a gain of 7 on the play. Clark didn't haul that one in, and it falls incomplete.
It is such a crucial down, Dan, and when you don't convert, it really hurts.
Maynard takes the snap and punts it away. Joyce fields the deep punt at the 31. Brought down at the 41.
Delvin Joyce returned for a few.
Brown hammers the receiver and forces him to drop the ball. Johnston tips it to the left sideline, and the reception is made past the markers. Barber picks up about 2, and that brings up. Johnston throws a lob right sideline, and the reception is made for a first and more. Popped hard at the 15. That will bring up first down. Barber loses 2, and that will bring up. Johnston throws a bullet here, and it's tipped. Incomplete. They couldn't connect on this one. Incomplete. That will bring up fourth down. Graham kicks it from 34 yards. It's good. Buckhalter picks up about. Green tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete. Brewer throws a heater, and they can't connect. Incomplete. Johnston rifles it out left side, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Down 2 receivers to the left. Toomer didn't haul that one in, and it falls incomplete. Rips him down, and the Bears. Hunt gets the ball and punts it away. Jefferson fields the punt at the 32. Dragged down at the 44.
Joseph.
Brewer throws a beauty to the right side. Fumble. The Giants have it. Gets the sack, and the clock will continue to run. And we're set. Graham kicks it off to begin overtime. Berrien fields the overtime kickoff at the 3. Jukes tackled at the 23. Capitalize on the defensive stop. Well, they'll start this drive at their own 23-yard line. Booker grabs the fastball over the middle. Buckhalter takes his 13th carry of the game and heads wide left. Down coming up. Booker goes in motion. Varian catches the heater left sideline, and he's looking for room, and touchdown.
To make the catch. Right there, but that's only the beginning. Look at him chew up the yardage.
Not a player who typically has a TD on his stats, but he's able to run it in and out on top, 19-13. For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much. And let's welcome all of you back to the studio. I'm Chris Berman here to bring you our ESPN Video Games post-game wrap-up. The Bears stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Let's get started in this one early in the third quarter. Tiki Barber would find an opening here, and he was off. After driving 23 yards on 5 plays, Paul Edinger would be summoned for the long field goal try. His kick would be right through. Connect on their second field goal. Giants trailing by 3. Michael Green would come up with the big play to kill a drive as he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. The Giants have it again. Well-dressed Amani Toomer had to work to find an opening, but he was able to haul this one in. That set up a 35-yard field goal. Game tied 13-all. Michael Strahan is going to come up with the big play here. Whoop! The ball's loose. Scramble. He's there to grab it. The ball at their own 42. Bernard Berrien would wind up as the hero in this one, though, as his touchdown reception in OT would be the decider. A 57-yard touchdown for the Bears. And that's where we'll leave this one. Bears squeaked out a win, 19-13. Now let's catch up with the player who really ignited his team's offense with his deft passing and has earned our Player of the Game award. Brewer was kind enough to give us a moment of his time, and he's on the field with Susie Colbert. Susie?
Thank you, Chris. You played great today. You may have the ingredient your team needed to pull out a win here. What gave you guys the edge today?
You know what? Somebody was really looking out for us today, above and beyond. We were just blessed to come up with the win. I'm just very thankful and happy that we came out on top, and now we have to look forward to next game.
Chris, back to you.
Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it. In our first game this week, we had the Colts come away with a 7-point win. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. Before we get to the big news of the week, let's do a quick shakedown on the rest of the NFL's injuries. Jamal Lewis won't see action for a while, and that'll be a big offensive loss for his team. It's a torn calf muscle, and the doctors are estimating he'll be out for 9 weeks. Now the big story of the day. David Thornton is going to find himself on the shelf, and that will be a major blow to his team. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
The A-Train, Anthony Thomas, stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Troy Brown had amazingly over 200 yards receiving and helped his Patriots beat the Browns. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Chargers win their 4th game of the year. Bears, Giants. Their 4th, Bernard Berrien came up with a big play as he was able to pull this one in. The Bears win this one by the final score of 19-13. In the city by the bay, San Francisco, we had the 49ers come away with a 7-point win. Down in Texas Stadium, we had the Cowboys lose by a 12-point margin. The Cardinals erupted for 400-plus offensive yards in their victory at Nashville. Falcons, Panthers. Yards. Michael Vick at the 5-yard line. Tight end might be a good place to look. And the Falcons win this one by the final score of 27-13. The Rams won on the road and will have to travel again next week when they meet the Colts. Bobby Ingram stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Ace, Deuce, and plenty of use McAllister ate up over 100 yards on the ground and helped his Saints beat the Ravens. Bengals, Steelers. Up over Charles Tillman
Is sometimes in no man's land, but you play the corner, you got to be tough. Reads it perfectly, picture perfect down the sidelines, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, 55-yard pick.
The Bengals go on to win this by the final score of 38-24. And last but not least, we had the Redskins come away victorious. So another week in the books here on ESPN, but what do you say we hand out a few game balls before we go? Here's my primetime players. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.